Warning, the stories you're about to hear are detailed accounts of shenanigans, pranks, and some mistakes that are meant to replicate the sort of discussions that veterans have when they reunite over a cold beverage and do not depict the professional daily actions of the military at large. We hope to make you laugh, but not to disrespect our proud men and women in uniform. Listener discretion is advised. Welcome to Cammo Comedy, where we take a humorous look at the lighter side of military service. We got a big show for you today, but before we jump into it, if you like what we're doing here, give us a subscribe, give us a follow, whatever they call it on your podcasting platform. And while you're at it, give us a 5-star rating, write us a review, as that makes us more relevant in the algorithm and boosts the overall visibility of the show. But word of mouth advertising is just so powerful, so if you tell some friends, I will love you forever. Okay, let's jump into the show. I am your host, Aaron Wolf. Just as a friendly reminder to the audience, we put out a new show every single Monday, so make sure you give the notification bell a nice tap. Give it a nice tap so you don't miss a show. Also, we are doing laughter therapy here on the show. We got a lot of military members who struggle with everyday life after service, and we're just here to share a laugh and remember the good times. Joining me today is the man who does his pubes up in cornrows, call sign Double Take. Double Take, thanks for being on the show today, man.
Oh my God. I've actually been working on it, and I got a lot of other patterns.
It looks awesome,
I've been working
man.
on. Yeah, right? And you smell it. I put like essential oils in it too. It's really nice.
You got to pull it like real tight though to braid it, right? It's kind of painful.
Yeah, it bleeds a lot.
I mean, it's taking the pubes to the next level, right?
Yeah. Oh God. Well, what's going on? Thank you for having me back. It's been a minute since I've been on.
Yeah, it's been a while since you've been on the show, man.
Yeah, it's been a while.
And you've been busy bringing pubes back, I guess. None of the shaved look anymore.
Yep.
Make pubes great again.
Nice. Also joining us today is the man who lifts with his butthole, not his legs. Call sign Footloose. Footloose, thanks for being on the show today, man.
It's a lesser known strategy. I wrote about it in my book. But
That's why you exercise keystering.
yeah.
It's a good way to get a pink sock.
You put some ball bearings in the old prison wallet. And
I got to say, I'm really excited to be here with Footloose. This is actually the first time that I think we've ever recorded.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, I've always been with Cheeks, who unfortunately isn't here. He was one of the keynote speakers at a convention for micropenises with ED down in West Virginia. But you know what? I'm excited because it'll be nice to film one of these for the first time where we don't have to have conversational training wheels.
Okay.
That's
a big plus.
Small words for Cheeks.
you don't have to, keep the drool rag laying around for telling Army stories.
Constantly draw diagrams of what we're talking about.
Oh,
I love you,
Cheeks.
In Cheeks' honor, we'll say spread cheeks, not hate.
Okay. Yes, that'll be a goal for the show.
He's out spreading beef and cheese on a buffet table.
Oh my God.
At least they go well together. Nice. All right, you guys ready for my first story?
Let's hear
Get it.
All right, so we got ourselves an Army story, right? And this story is going back to 1994, right?
That was like 100 years ago.
Almost. About 31, something like that, 30s.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Before you were born.
Sadly not.
So we've got two main characters here, and we're going to call them Levi and Owen, right? And it's important to note that Levi and Owen are really close friends, right? So they have actually been in Desert Storm together. Every time they've PCS, for those of you who might not know, PCS just is permanent change of station, right? So like anytime you move from one base to another,
You're PMSing.
PMSing, yes. So every time they switched bases, we'll just say that.
I almost spit out my drink.
I almost killed
Taking a
Footloose.
sip when he said that. Terrible timing.
Every time they would switch bases, Levi and Owen would just so happen to go together. They got really lucky. So they were together for years, right? So that allowed them to become really close, right?
Ever since they passed that law and they could get married, now it was easier to PCS together.
Something
That would
like
make sense why they always moved at the exact same time.
Guys, it's so random.
We have unraveled the mystery there. But no, so at this duty assignment that they were at, right, they were tasked with like field communications, more specifically anything that other people had broken electronically, Levi and Owen had to fix, right? So their command decided one day that they wanted to install field phones. One of the field phones was going to go in the major's office, and then they were going to run lines out to like these different shelters that were kind of out in the field. They had like
two of them, right?
These old like Vietnam like turning box phones and stuff.
With the coil of wire on the guy's back when he's low crawling across open ground.
I'm glad you brought that up. So at this time in 1994, they actually had wireless communications, but for whatever reason, their command didn't want to fuck with it. They just wanted field phones, specifically TA312s, right? For those of you in the audience who haven't seen this, give that a search, because like the TA312s is just like this rectangular brick, right? And they have like an old school looking like rotary dial telephone receiver that's attached to this brick.
I'm picturing those like 80s cell phones.
It's pretty close.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that, but
it's a zip-up brick box.
Yeah, those actually looked a little bit more high-tech compared to these field phones,
oh my God.
Right? So on the side of these field phones, they actually had a crank, right? And that's how you would call anybody that was connected to the field phone network,
Not
right?
that crank footloose.
And they were powered by batteries. And when you turn this crank...
No, I was doing a little jerk-off motion. And
when you said crank, he was like...
Yes, exactly. So when they turn this crank, it would send an electrical charge down the field wire, and it would ring the other phones that were connected to the network. The ringing for this is not like an old school telephone. It's like clicking and popping sound because they were staying tactical, right? So that's just important for, like, the functionality of these things are important for the story to understand, right?
It's like when Cheeks gets out of a chair, all the clicking and popping.
All of his joints just snapping.
Exactly.
You get it,
all
Cheeks?
that weight.
You're old.
Roasting Cheeks when he's not even here to defend himself. So Levi and Owen get tasked with installing these field phones. So one day, after normal duty hours, they decided they would start with the major's office. So they install a field phone. They had to like jerry-rig a couple things so it would look nice and kind of like go through the wall. So then it was like down this hill, and these shelters were like out in a field. Levi and Owen finished installing the field phone in the major's office, right? They had a private who was with them that was kind of like just following along to like learn some of the tricks of the trade and things of that nature, right? So they go out to the first shelter, right? And that's where Owen and the private part ways. They're like, hey, we're going to go take care of the other shelter and we'll just be done a lot quicker that way. Like, all right, cool. So they kind of cut off some of the wire. They head over to the other shelter, right? Levi gets completed with this and he gives it a couple of minutes because he's like, it's going to take him a few minutes to get out there. And then he's thinking, like, we've come to the point where Owen and the private should have been able to install the other line. So Levi wants to field test it because you have to make sure that, like, everything's operational. So if it's not, then you can start troubleshooting, right? So Levi just starts cranking the fuck out of this field phone.
I saw this coming.
Right?
But the cable was in the private's ass.
I don't know if it was exactly like that.
Same shrill as it ringing, but
But Levi figured that like they've had plenty of time to be able to hook everything up, and best case scenario, they'll be able to start their troubleshooting aspect of this task. And worst case scenario, maybe Owen gets a little bit of a shock because it doesn't have like high voltage or amperage or anything like that. So it's going to give you a little bit of a shock if you're touching the wire when they're turning that crank, but it's not going to be anything too serious, right? So he's just like, well, I'm ready to get out of here. He's just cranking this thing for like, he says 10 minutes.
what?
Yeah, he's just like cranking.
It's like trying to start a car.
Well, like I get in this time period, you couldn't just like text your buddy and be like, hey, are you there yet? Like
This is 1994.
But why 10 minutes if you're just testing it?
Yeah, if nothing happened after 10 minutes.
So,
he's
that's
dead.
a lot of dedication.
I'm glad you asked that. The private who was with him comes running up and says, hey, stop! You're shocking the fuck out of fucking Owen over there. And he's just like, oh no, okay. So what he did not realize is that Owen had 2 fistfuls of like cables. And like as he was turning this crank, the electricity caused him to hold onto it. Like he had them both in one in each hand in fists.
They were bare cables. They weren't insulated.
They were bare cables. So like it caused, like if you guys ever seen like a TENS machine or anything like that where they send an electric charge and it kind of like contracts your muscle. Mm-hmm. So like he could not let go of these cables as this guy's just cranking the fuck out of it, right?
I'm picturing like when Spider-Man's holding onto the webs to try and stop the train.
Yeah, exactly.
The private's just like, why are you flexing?
Exactly like that. So Levi's like, oh fuck, man, like I didn't know it was that bad. So obviously he stopped and he's like, well, it was inadvertent. He was actually just going to get on the phone and try to apologize to his friend over there, Owen.
So he rings it again.
No. So what happens is Levi lifts up the phone and he hears Owen on the other line that was already laying into somebody who he thought was Levi. right?
Oh, no.
So then that's when and then all of a sudden,
Don't tell me.
we did not, we did not get the details.
I forgot where the other phone was.
We did not get the details of what was said on the phone, but he was fucking cussing him out, laying into him. What the fuck do you think you're doing? Fucking shocking me. You're fucking hurting the shit out of me over here. What the fuck, man? We did not get the information what was said, but the major said something to the effect of, "Who in the fuck do you think you're talking to?" And that's where Owen goes silent. That's where Owen goes silent. He's just like, "Oh my God," right?
Then he wrapped the cables around his neck. Hey, call me right back.
Did the major know who was out there installing it?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because here's the situation, right? So at that time, there was like 20 Army soldiers out in the field along with like 20 civilian engineers plus the 3 of them that were there. So it was really difficult.
Perfect.
It was really difficult for the major to like kind of zero in on whoever might have been like screaming at him and cussing him out and everything over the phone. But everybody in that like 43 person group heard about this fucking story because it was just phenomenal. Now,
the major's probably thinking, I just better kill everybody to make sure I get him.
Just to make sure.
We're happy to report though that Levi and Owen did not get in any trouble for this. Now, also I would like to point out, Levi has said to this day this was an honest mistake, and Owen does not believe it for what he's like. You fucking did that shit on purpose. So like,
I mean, it was 10 minutes.
Honest mistake that I kept cranking for 10 minutes.
He's like, why is Owen's hand smoking?
Right?
He must be a magician.
Yeah. So I'm glad nobody got seriously injured, but it is a funny story that you were accidentally cussing out the major that just so happened to be working late that day. Yeah. Amazing story. Thanks for sharing.
Imagine the major picking up the phone. Hello. You motherfucker. You piece of shit.
Imagine that for 1 second. I'm glad you brought that up because, like, imagine you're just a major, you're working late, you're trying to get things accomplished. You're like, oh, good. You know, the comm guys put in my field phone like we had asked. Cool. And then all of a sudden if it rings and you're just getting your ass chewed.
And you're like, how did my dad get my phone number?
I imagine like you had an audience, considering how many other technicians were out there. They probably had just a whole group was wide-eyed listening like,
oh yeah, it'd be so you could hear the conversation.
Oh yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that was a good one, man.
All right, so I'm going to take the next one.
All right, what you got, man?
We've got an Army basic training story.
Okay.
Yes.
Specifically around the DFAC or dining facility procedures.
Okay.
So,
and for those of you in the audience who might not know, like, it is very regimented when you're getting food in basic training.
oh yeah,
It's one
you
of the
got to
worst
use
parts.
facing movements. You've got to do reporting instructions. It's ridiculous.
It's not like for something that should be comfortable, like getting fed.
It's the
it is
opposite.
Not. Yeah, it's the opposite. Of that.
They make it stressful somehow.
At least for me in our basic training, we referred to chow as lick a biscuit time because you basically had the time to sit down, lick a biscuit,
That sounds
and
dirty.
fuck off.
Yeah, I mean his drill sergeant's name was Biscuit, so it was weird. But
Why do you think I got through
Wait,
basic
is that
in
how
2
you
weeks?
passed?
I actually got promoted to tech sergeant before I even left basic.
That's one way to get ahead, if you get what I mean.
So anyway, all right, so these troops are going through the chow line, getting their food and sitting down.
Okay.
And in the Army basic training, at least at this time, they had a policy called cups down. And what that was is you had to have all of your fluids drank and all of your cups empty before you got up.
Right.
So you would flip the cup upside down, put it on your tray.
When it was empty.
When it was empty, yes. Very important.
good clarification.
Yeah, no dumping Gatorade or fucking milk all over
That would get you fucked up.
Yeah, this isn't Wild
100%.
Things.
So you would flip them over and carry it up, and there would always be a trainee stationed at the door exiting the facility who would yell, "Cups down!"
Right.
to remind people to flip them over. So
After they drank it.
some poor trainee decides to get up and didn't drink all of his fluids.
Oh, no.
Still had enough left in his cup that it was noticeable. And so as he's walking over, he passes a drill instructor.
Oh, fuck me.
And the drill instructors weren't the ones that were normally doing these cups down duties, but and he turns and yells, announcing to the whole dining facility, "Cups down!" And then bow, proceeds to just yeet like SpaceX launched this kid's tray.
When you say
up in the
yeet,
air.
you mean like he slapped the underside?
Like
of
he
this guy's...
tried to hit the tray so hard that it would go through the ceiling.
Gave it a good Ryuken from Street Fighter.
Exactly.
Solid reference.
Get over here.
That's
So-
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nerd.
So
What a loser.
But point is, this drill instructor launches his tray
fuck.
into the air. I mean, everything goes flying.
Oh my god.
So much so that now it's raining down the remainder of his fluids.
And
That'll get
glass?
you hydrated.
Oh, yeah.
Were these glass
Oh,
cups?
they had to have been.
You know what? I don't know. They might have been.
That'd be even
It would
better.
certainly be more exciting, but... So anyways, this
That
poor
sucks.
kid's just standing there at attention, getting his ass chewed.
Imagine.
Now wet
milk
from all of the
raining on
fluids.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could you imagine though?
I've had that
like
before.
that has got to be fucking hilarious for everybody else and it's like horrific when it happens to you. That's one of the weird things about basic training is like when these little things happen, they're funny, but you can't laugh at them.
not
Otherwise,
supposed to
you
be
get
funny.
fucked up.
Yeah, I had it
That's
before where
debatable.
I laughed at shit that was happening, and then I got screamed at and got in worse trouble than the dude who fucked
It's the
up.
same as like when you were a kid in school. It makes it harder to not react when you're not supposed to react.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I have an amazing story here that was submitted
Oh,
from
God.
a heavy listener here, or I
right.
shouldn't say heavy. That's not nice.
I thought you were about to say like heavy drinker or something. It's like, where are you going with that?
He's a longtime fan. Anyways,
We're happy to have you aboard, man.
so this guy, he used to be in life support on C-130s. This is an Air Force story.
Could you explain for the audience who might not know what life support is?
So life support are generally the guys that they run some systems on the plane, but most of the stuff they do is like ensuring that you have parachutes and just kind of life supporting equipment that are
Yeah.
that's on the aircraft
Stuff
and everything like that.
rafts.
Yeah. So,
know,
it's
things
just like
of that nature.
a lot of emergency equipment, but, they help out with all the other aircrew duties and everything.
Right.
Like,
Or oral support.
There you go.
That's part of moral
Depending on what if you want to get promoted.
well, so along those same lines. No, I'm just kidding. So on these older C-130s, he was explaining, they had this thing called the honey bucket.
Okay.
And
I'm going to go out on a limb
like
here.
the sound of that.
Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is not a good thing. It's not what it sounds
I don't
like.
think there was honey in that bucket.
It's not a Winnie the Pooh honey bucket, that's for sure.
Well, maybe part of the poo bucket.
That's exactly what it was. It was the poo bucket. So
fuck.
on these military aircraft, they don't have like commercial airline bathrooms where it's basically like a porta-john.
Right.
He explained to me, imagine one of those big wide igloo coolers.
Oh God, this
that
sounds
you like take to the beach or like at a graduation party, like a wide one that has
with a fucking hole in it.
it not even that, it just had a trash
This is
bag.
not a glory hole here.
God.
Double take.
Well, hold
Don't
on.
get so
Okay,
excited.
Sorry.
So I lay in the
guess I get this
cooler and
Face down.
Is that the milking station? Is that how we keep morale high?
yeah, life support.
Life support.
So the deal was, this was a giant cooler with a trash bag in it and then like a seat on top of it. It's basically just a big bucket for you to shit in.
Very high tech.
And they said it's secured up it was like on a deer stand, essentially. So you
Oh, God.
lift it up and secure it into place so it stays there. But then to
I'm
use
just picturing guys shitting on a ladder, like elevated in the plane,
you would
shitting in a
pull
bucket.
it down and lock it into place.
See,
to
I
use.
have a problem with keeping the shit bucket above everybody's head.
Well,
Even if it's latched in and sealed.
That just sounds gravitationally unsafe.
Well, so
Yeah.
obviously they didn't like using it for a number of reasons.
I'm
because
sure
it
that was like a no-no to only in emergencies.
Exactly. So that's what he explained was the rule. There was a little urinal that you could use. And again, most of the military's dudes and chicks would, figure it out.
Hey, chicks pee too.
Yeah. Well, so the urinal just hooked up to a hose that would just dump out the back. So if you ever you feel a raindrop, but you look,
Are you
it's not
telling me that
raining,
we
it's-
potentially get pissed on by military
Oh yeah,
aircraft?
all the time.
That's amazing.
Is that why raindrops taste good?
Oh my God, Aaron. Why
Just
why
kidding,
does this
folks.
rain taste like asparagus?
The whole deal was that they would explain to everyone is that the rule was if they had to get it down because somebody had to take a shit, if you're the first person to use it, you are now responsible for changing the bag and cleaning it out at the end of the flight.
Oh, no matter how many people use it.
Doesn't matter how many people
I
use
am
it.
absolutely shitting my pants.
If you're the first person to use it, you're in charge of doing it.
Nope.
Now, let me just stop you right there. Is there a safe way to hang your ass out of a moving plane to take a shit? Because I think I would try to fucking rig up like
I'm picturing picturing the
up some
family
of
in the
that
car
shit.
in Rat Race where they make the daughter poop out the window.
Yes,
and it hits the
great
cop
reference.
car.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if they like lowered the ramp and you're harnessed in, but you got your ass out like chaps.
You're just butt naked on a safety harness hanging out the back of the plane.
Yeah, he was on life support. You know, so he's. So that was the rule. And so, I mean, just imagine a plane full of dudes, and you're up in the air a long fucking time on some of these trips.
Somebody's going to shit.
You're just staring each other down. I got to shit, but I know you got to go worse. I'm not doing this.
It's only a matter of time.
That's how you get a plane full of guys shitting themselves.
Well, that's normally how it went. Like everyone in the aircrew, nobody would do it. You would hold your shit for 12 hours.
Was
'cause
Dome
you're not
Piece on the
doing
plane?
this.
Do we know that?
That's how you just shit his pants.
I'm sure the aircrew, though, their bodies were more used to doing that because they did it regularly.
Right, exactly.
These guys are just like, oh no.
Yeah. I mean, imagine leaving, some shitty chow hall and then getting airsick.
Yep.
Or
And
coming from overseas.
the origin of this story essentially is that they're taking 90 plus Army dudes home from a deployment.
Oh, no.
And I'm talking,
There's a lot of diarrhea.
this is a big plane.
overseas.
However, he said there were so many dudes, they were interlocking their legs facing each other.
That's
like,
packed.
That's how shoulder to shoulder, like knee, like just facing opposite directions from each other.
Packed in there like sardines.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
And so it's the way
That's
home.
a rough ride home.
So they didn't really take care of themselves the night before because you're leaving the next day. So the one dude, like everybody's getting stomach aches.
So B.O.
Yeah, it smells.
Everybody's got the bubble gut.
Everyone's got the bubble gut. You're getting kind of airsick. It was like a 14-hour flight.
I will say for the record, I do not like where this is going.
And considering you said they're Army guys, they probably don't realize these taboo rules of.
Well, they explained it to
Aircraft
him,
okay.
so they knew it. And one dude finally was breaking. He's like
I don't
sweating,
care.
like holding his stomach, doing like the pee-pee dance, and like
Yeah.
one of the load masters on there was apparently this very attractive female, which
Okay.
females are kind of rare at all, especially on deployments coming home from the Army. So seeing this attractive girl, nobody wanted
like
to
a
be the
unicorn.
guy. Yeah, nobody wanted to be the guy to go tell the attractive girl, "Hey, I'm about
gonna
to
go
shit
take
my
a dump."
pants."
Could you unhook
lower
the shit bucket?
Could you lower my potty? But this dude's like, I'm about to shit through a screen door. I could borderline use the urinal. However, it got so bad, he was willing to take that for everybody to just, I need you to lower this.
Yeah.
And she like re-explained the rules real quickly while she's doing stuff in the background. Like, all right, but you're going to clean it at the end of this flight. I don't care if everybody on the fucking plane uses it. And he's like, at this point, I don't care. It's either this or shit in my pants. And I'm not sitting in that the whole rest of the flight. So she brings it down, locks it into place. Well, then she goes off to go do other things.
Right.
And he didn't relock it back up.
Oh no.
So it just sat down, locked and open. So then everybody now knows it's open for business.
You broke the seal.
But again, it's supposed to only be for pooping because there's a urinal.
Oh, God.
But if you're a dude and you walk in and you're tired or whatever, you just walk in like, oh, cool, the toilet's out. So you just fucking piss and shit in there.
Just turn this whole thing into jambalaya.
Yeah, so like there's just
Why jambalaya? Oh,
it's
man.
spicy.
Something that's chunky and got some fluids in it. I'm gonna puke.
Yeah, Cheeks isn't even here.
Holy shit. Cheeks, we love you, buddy.
Yeah.
We love filling you full of fluid.
Miss your cheeks.
So anyway, so obviously at this point, every dude on the plane now is like, oh, well, I'm going to go shit. So
God.
this thing is just piling up.
Fucking conga line of shitters.
We have not solved the Mass Effect problem at this point.
No.
So they're running out of room in this toilet. Well,
Yikes.
The female loadmaster, all of a sudden she sees this big line. She's like, oh my God, they're all shitting. No. So she cuts them off and runs to the back. And she's like, I'm going to put this up so they stop using it. Well, it was too late. At this point, this thing was nearly full.
Like to the edge.
To the brim lid of this toilet.
God.
That's a bad fill.
So people don't realize how heavy water is. So
Well, this
that
wasn't
wasn't
exactly water.
This is a little thicker than water.
That was forbidden water.
Lots of corn, So this chick gets down and she has to like deadlift squat this over her head to lock it in place.
No.
Dirtiest
Clean and jerk you're ever going to do.
So the gods were smiling down upon this day because
on the day or on her?
either way, at this point, they inadvertently hit some turbulence.
Oh, of course they did. Why wouldn't they?
How else could it go?
This bucket that she is struggling to just get above her head, getting ready to lock it in place. All of a sudden, you get rocked forward and rocked backward, and it just
And game celebration.
dumps on her. Every bit all over her. And she becomes a fucking turdsicle, like instantly.
Like, for her sake, I hope she's okay now. But I would have just popped open one of the port windows and just I'm out. Like, I'm gone.
Jackass, where it was like Steve-O jumped in that like river of poop.
It was the bungee jump porta potty.
I was thinking of the bungee jump porta potty. Yeah, combine those. It was a combination.
Yikes. This lady deserves a raise.
My God. She
whatever
deserves
she's
like
getting
a Purple
paid.
Heart.
Yeah. So again, head to toe, completely covered in 90 plus dudes piss and shit for it's been sitting there baking for hours. And so her reaction, she's like trying not to throw up. Maybe she puked a little, but
I would have puked.
I'm gonna do it too.
spitting stuff out. Well, so she is soaked, and it was like, fuck this. She goes.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm literally gagging for real, though, not for comical effect. Oh, my God.
So she, mind you, she is this attractive female. And
Well, she's less attractive now.
Well, you know, dudes are simple. Here's what she does. She goes out, strips completely naked, takes her entire uniform in front of. She did not care.
Hey, listen, at this point, I'm with her.
That covered in shit, she just had to get out of this. She was going to puke if she kept smelling it. So she strips completely naked, and everyone on the plane turns over and starts cheering and clapping and
of
hooting
course
and
they
hollering, just wolf whistling at her.
Fucking animals.
Literally.
That is
You did this to her, and now you're celebrating her
rude.
misfortune.
Well, to be fair, though, they didn't exactly do it to
you're
her.
right.
It was
They
the
didn't dump it
turbulence.
on her.
Yeah, but they had to utilize the
Fuck you, air.
toilet.
Remember, like in high school chemistry class, like when you get a chemical spill and they're like, don't have modesty, just strip naked and pull on the shower to rinse everything. So that was
I just did that out of good practice.
Just every time.
you didn't have to be erect, though.
This class hadn't even started yet.
And there's double take right in the shower, the emergency shower.
Hey, does anybody else want to be next?
So she strips. Everyone's cheering, laughing, having a good time. She's
Rude.
obviously disgusted, embarrassed. She throws on like civilian clothes that she had in her bag and stuff like that.
Yeah, but this
poor lady.
shower.
Yeah, no, and that's, I mean, the damage was done. That was better. It was still not great, but that was her
Like putting a
mindset.
dress
Was like,
on a turd. It doesn't exactly make the problem go away.
like-
It's just a little prettier.
it was helping to not get the smell and the disease.
Let me just say something real quick. This is why you should always bring a Tide stick. You know what I mean?
I don't know if a Tide stick
or
would
a
have fixed.
ShamWow.
Tide stick and a ShamWow. Boom, you're good to go.
Yeah,
Maybe a baby wipe.
or just
I don't think I've honestly ever heard on this show ever a story that has me so taken aback as this.
Oh my God.
I am
That poor lady.
flabbergasted.
Yeah, I feel
And
really
I don't even know what
bad
that
for
word
this-
means. But
I feel really bad for this lady.
So obviously, after all this happens, you know, when tough things happen like this in the military,
We're very sensitive.
Yeah, you definitely don't bring it up at every possible opportunity and tell others like, "Hey, remember when you dumped that bucket of shit on yourself?" You know, things like that. So, yeah,
I don't know. This is like red meat for the dogs that are hungry. You know what I mean?
it felt like she was covered in it.
I just can't get over this. My brain cannot comprehend. This sound
here
is
we
made
are.
up. It's so insane.
Retelling this story, he's like, I've never laughed and cried so hard in my entire life, but like simultaneously,
I don't know
you're
how
just
they were able to breathe.
feeling for this person.
Yeah, that's a good point. It would be stinky. in
It's
there
not
for
like the
I'm
plane.
breathing from laughing, but that too.
I mean, yeah, but then think about that after the fact. This happened on the plane.
Yeah,
the flight was not over yet.
Yeah.
and you're in a pressurized tube in the
You've got
air.
hours.
Oh, it's a shit
Likely of
aerosol
this.
can at that point. Oh, poor woman.
It's not always
crap.
smooth sailing in the military.
So naturally, she never heard the end of this story for her entire military career, from start to finish. The mistakes that were made.
I bet she hears about it every single day.
Yeah, like her family's probably heard
They
about
just
it.
look at her and go, "Hey, remember this?" And then go back to whatever they're
People on
doing.
base were like, "Hey, are you the one that everybody shit on?"
Take it.
Apparently, she had a really great attitude about it. Like in the moment, was like, "Fuck all of you guys! I hate you! Like,
Yes.
I'm gonna fucking kill you guys!" Like she was so pissed.
That's the only way to win in that
But
situation.
she stayed on the air crew. Like
I love somebody that can kick some shit. You know what I mean?
but
literally or figuratively.
Well, I'm just talking about figuratively. Like you can give it. The guys are dishing it out to her. She can dish it.
She
right
can roll
back.
with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She totally took the punches, flew the next day, like had no issues about it. So she was awesome.
Nice.
But it was hilarious.
About 5 or 6 showers later.
At least.
I would have just put tape over my eyes and mouth and just dunked myself in bleach.
Boiling water. Nice.
Oh.
All right. So I got the next story. So we got ourselves an Air Force story, right? This story takes place in Afghanistan, right? Now, we've got one main character here, and we're going to call him Colonel Stryker,
Nice.
right? Now, Colonel Stryker is a full bird colonel, or spread eagle colonel, if you will, right? Good callback to an earlier sode of a basic trainee getting
What's
hung
my
up
rank
on.
called? Spread eagle, sir.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for filling that in, Double Take. So, like I said, this story takes place in Afghanistan. It's important to note that Colonel Stryker is a badass. I know that we like to tease some officers here on the show about being candy asses or, whatever, but Colonel Stryker was the opposite of that.
Like a legitimate badass.
Yes,
Didn't think
like,
he was a badass.
He was one of the first people to parachute into Iraq, right?
Fuck.
Like one of the first dudes.
Jesus.
Yeah.
All right.
He was a legit dude, and he was
Tracking that.
For fun.
he was one of the
He was on leave.
could have been. But he was one of the main commanders on this base in Afghanistan, right? Now, there was a group of Air Force guys who got tasked with almost like an Army mission. So they were doing a lot of outside the wire patrols and everything like this. And Colonel Stryker, every once in a while, would elect to go out with them. So what he would do is he would get into what they call a sanitized uniform, which for those of you in the audience who might not know, that just means he's got no rank insignia, he's got no name, he's got no unit patches or anything like that. He's just got a plain Jane uniform.
Nothing to identify you.
Right, nothing to identify him. And he would go to the sergeant that was running the mission and be like, hey, I'm just another dude in your stack. Let me know what the fuck you need me to do. I'm going to take care of business. He just wanted to fucking go out.
Damn.
Sounds like undercover boss.
It could have been. This is like
Taking notes. This guy's fucked.
This is like the
This
military.
new airman's fucking stupid.
This is like the military version of undercover boss. You know what I mean? So they're getting ready to go out and do an outside the wire mission. What their mission is they're going to establish what they call an LPOP. For those of you in the audience who might not know, an LPOP just stands for listening post, observation post. So this is very much so like a recon mission. So where they're just supposed to go out to somewhere where the enemy is active
And observe.
they're going to listen for what they're doing, and they're going to observe and then report back. It's not
Like a mall cop.
Yeah. I guess you could say
Tip
that.
of the spear.
One other important thing to point out here is Afghanis are wizards at irrigation, right? Like you give some of these Afghans a shovel and they're going to divert a river like in a couple scoops of that shovel. They just move it over here to their crop area, whatever. Like they're just masters at irrigation. So they have irrigation ditches all over this area where they're getting ready to set up an LPOP, right? The other thing that we should point out here is that this is a night op. So they're going out at night. And at this time of year, it is fucking freezing cold outside. That's also important for the story.
People don't realize in Afghanistan, it's really hot during the day, but it's a desert. So at night, it
It's
gets cold
fucking
as fuck.
It makes no sense. If you've never been in a desert, it's true. It'll get like below freezing at
Yes.
night, but be 110 during the day.
If I recall, they were in like a mountainous region too, so the climate's already going to be
Even more
affected by
volatile.
that. Yeah.
Higher elevation, all that stuff makes it fucking cold at night. It was so cold that in these irrigation ditches, there was actually like ice that would form on the water in these ditches, right? Now, it wasn't enough like you could just walk on it or anything like that, but like it was ice. So they're dismounting. They're getting ready to go establish their LPOP. And they've got Colonel Stryker that's with them, right? And he's just a guy in the stack. So they kind of like observe the area. See, they have these irrigation ditches and they're pretty big, right? So they kind of like look around, get a survey of the area, and they see that, okay, there's this land bridge over off to the side. So they kind of do like a tactical movement, and all the troops are kind of making their tactical movement across this bridge. And then they hear what sounds like somebody did a cannonball, right?
no.
And they look over and they see Colonel Stryker is like fucking just head to toe drenched in this freezing ass fucking water.
Oh, Colonel
Like,
made a boo-boo.
oh, fuck. Right? So Colonel Stryker's like climbing out. He's all out of breath because like when you get hit with that cold ass water, it like knocks the fucking wind out of your lungs.
Shocks your
Totally
whole
Like,
system.
just complete shock and everything. As he's coming out, he rips the biggest fucking fart you've ever heard in your life. whoa, I got lightheaded there. I'm seeing the sparklies, man. I went all out on that fart. So hold on a second. So all right, so Colonel Stryker lets out this humongous fart after he's climbing out of everything, and so they're kind of like rallying up, and he's like taking his NVGs off, and he's kind of like looking at his guys and everything, and he looks around, and he says, "How the fuck are all you guys dry?" And then one of the guys responds, "Well, sir, we took that land bridge that's right over there." He looks at the land bridge that's only like a few meters off to one side. He's like, "Fuck."
And you said this guy was in charge of all of these guys? They just didn't know it?
So no. They knew it. Like, they knew who the colonel was, right? Okay. But like, the colonel would elect to go out with everybody, you know, and do these missions from time to time. But he just wanted to be a dude. He didn't want to be the colonel in charge of everything. So one of the other guys speaks up. He's like, "Hey, Colonel, do you want us to take you back to base?" And to the colonel's credit, he's like, "No, fuck that. We've got enemies over here. We got to make sure they're not going to fucking hit our base. Fuck that. I'm staying." Right? Like, hats off to him. Like, they go out, they establish their LPOP, and he's like, mind you, he's fucking head to toe fucking soaked. Like, this guy got dunked.
Shivering and shaking.
And shaking, everything like that.
Like, beginning hypothermia.
Yeah. And they were out for a couple of hours, right? So, like, they finish up, they make all their notifications and everything, and then they rally back up in the trucks. Colonel Stryker gets in, and he's got, like, grass frozen to the front of his uniform and everything like that. He is fucked up, and all he can say is, like, "Take me to base. Turn the fucking heater on high."
Just frozen solid. Looked like a human cum sock.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But look, to the colonel's credit, man, like, he wasn't bitching out on this. He very well could have just had somebody, a couple guys driving back to base.
I mean, good for him. I would have cried and immediately.
I need a helicopter evac.
This sucks.
I could not have handled that the same way.
Oh,
man. Kudos to you, Colonel
Stryker. Think of anyone E4 and below.
Oh, fuck, man. This sucks.
That. Any E8 and below.
Anybody that's a human. Like, if you get dunked in ice water and then you have to lay out on the frozen ground for hours.
Especially if you're the only one. I mean, again, if your whole squad went through it, you can't really bitch. But, like, you're the only dude covered in freezing cold ice water.
This is, like, very humbling, has to be, for the colonel. Like, one of the things, he's just like, okay, everybody obviously just saw the land bridge that was just right over here, and they walked across it.
Except me.
Except for me, I guess.
I took the shortcut.
Yeah, I guess he was just very excited to get out there and establish the LPOP, so...
Oh, my gosh.
That's a fucking awesome story. Colonel Stryker, you're awesome, man.
Beast.
Kudos to you, sir.
Fuck yeah. Hey, thanks for checking out the Cammo Comedy Show Podcast. If you like what we're doing here and you want to participate in this community, there are many different ways you can contribute.
First and foremost, tell someone about the show. Word of mouth advertising is very powerful, and we really appreciate you helping us out.
If you have any funny military stories of your own, or know somebody who does, with their permission, of course, you can contribute those stories via email at stories@cammocomedy.com. That's stories, STORIES, at CAMMOCOMEDY.com. And if you're not too good at the internets, drop us a voicemail at area code 531-222-6146. That's area code 531-222-6146.
Yeah, and if you want to interact with us throughout the week, hit me up on my socials, Facebook and Instagram. Just look up !Cheeks.
We have a lot of big plans for this show. In building this community to support veterans, we will announce here soon. So stay tuned. All right. I'm going to go enjoy a nice pasta salad with a little mayonnaise later.
Okay, first of all, mayonnaise?
Why do you always have a problem with the way I talk?
There's a way you're supposed to say the word, Aaron.
Mayonnaise?
That's not it.
Panaz.
That's not fucking it, Aaron. That's not...
Army basic training.
Army basic.
Thanks
cool.
for that.